We heard the
Oh,
tuba
okay,
starting,
okay.
and I was like,
Oh,
is that?
I thought it was just. I thought it was.
Is this Edward's music?
You see the
No, the groom's music. That's funny.
Ruchim Habaim B'Shem Adonai. Hopes are being fulfilled. This moment is the merging of two paths of life into one. Ruchim Habaim, we welcome you to a loving partnership. Marissa and Edward, what a really special day this is for the two of you, and for your parents, Pablo and Dolores, and Mark and Marion, and for all your brothers and sisters and your friends and other family members who are so happy to be here and share this special occasion with you at what an amazing location this is. And who could ask for a more spectacular setting than right here on the beach at this amazing, glorious sunset. It's also been a really wonderful weekend in general, and I'm glad I'm able to share this with the two of you. This is also a very special day to have a wedding. In the Jewish tradition, the Torah reading, we read every week a different portion, and this week we begin the book of Exodus. And the opening chapters of this book describe the momentous events that led up to the freeing of our people from slavery in Egypt. In next week's Torah portion, Va'era, God instructs Moses to tell the Israelites that he is now going to fulfill the promise that he made to our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Using 4 verbs to describe the deliverance of the Israelites, God says, I will free you from the labors of the Egyptians. I will deliver you from their bondage. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and through extraordinary judgments. And I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God. This declaration of God is metaphorically understood to be God's betrothal of the Jewish people. God betroths the Jewish people and promises an eternal covenant, an eternal contractual relationship of love and commitment. We are to do the things that God expects of us, and as you know, most of those commandments relate to how we're supposed to treat each other in God's creation, but also some ritual observances that remind us of our responsibilities. And in turn, God promises everlasting faithfulness to us. A marriage between two people is very similar to this type of relationship. A marriage requires both love and commitment, romance and obligation, excitement and faithfulness. And by the way, you probably already know that those 4 verbs that God uses to describe how he will deliver the Israelites from Egypt are also symbolized at the Passover Seder with 4 cups of wine. We drink 1 cup for each of the verbs God used. And at a traditional Jewish wedding, we typically also drink 4 cups of wine, sometimes more. But 4 in particular, 2 cups which we're going to drink shortly as part of this ceremony. And then 2 cups are drunk at the end of the wedding banquet during the grace after the meal. Symbolically then, the two of you are committing yourselves to the kind of relationship of love, fidelity, and responsibility as God and the Israelites did so very long ago. And then the following week, we read the Torah portion Bo, in which the Israelites actually are freed from slavery and begin their journey to the Promised Land. This marks the birth of the Jewish people as a free people. And this evening, as the sun sets slowly into the west, you formally begin your journey through life together as a couple. Your journey can also be seen as a journey toward a land of promise in this world. The remarkable thing about the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, is that when we come to the end of the book of Deuteronomy, we find that the Israelites have yet to cross the threshold. They have yet to forge across the Jordan River and enter the Promised Land. The Torah thus teaches us the significance of the journey itself, keeping our focus on our goal, of course, but knowing that we may never achieve that state of perfection, that state of ultimate accomplishment. And so too with a marriage. The journey itself is the adventure, the excitement, and sometimes a challenge, but always a work in progress. The best part of having a life partner is having someone to share the voyage with. For all the bridges that you will cross, for all the planning and consulting with a roadmap, or not, for all the times you choose which path to take on the crossroads, for all the unexpected directions and turns your excursion will take, for all the ups and downs, the ins and outs, and all the other things that you will share as partners, you will share together in the adventure. Marissa and Edward, the story of how the two of you came to be under this beautiful chuppah on this glorious evening at Isla Mujeres is really quite extraordinary. Now, normally, I tell the story of how the couple met and became engaged at this point in the ceremony, But in your case, the story was already told so well in your wedding page that I didn't know what I could add to it. Just kidding. For those of you who may have skipped over that particular page, let me summarize it here. You met about 12 years ago when you were both students at UT Austin. Edward, you were playing basketball at Gregory Gym, where Marissa was working keeping score. Apparently, Edward, your fashion plate sports outfit just knocked the socks off Marissa. Or maybe it was that unbelievably amazing skill at handling the basketball with that particularly unique goose step. Well, that was the first chance meeting, and then a couple of weeks later, totally by chance, or at least that's what it said on your website, totally by chance, the two of you bumped into each other again at the library. And a very long, intellectually stimulating, and wide-ranging conversation ensued that apparently clued the two of you in that this was no mere accidental encounter. This was, as we say in the Jewish world, beshert. It was something that was meant to be. You were so clearly meant for each other that a mere 11 years later, it was clear that it was time to take that next step and become engaged. The location for this adventure was a vineyard in Maipú in Mendoza. So for those of you who are geographically challenged like me, that is a province in Argentina, which is particularly known for its vineyards. So it was on January 4th, 2016, that after telling Marissa it was her day, and that she could do anything she wanted to, Edward, you insisted that you go on a bike ride in 92-degree weather to the furthest winery from the bike rental shop. Okay. It was an air-conditioned wine tasting at the end of the ride. It was a romantic setting. So after the wines were savored, the two of you went out again to see the grapevines, stopping in the middle of a row. There, Edward, you proposed on one knee, and Marissa, you were totally taken by surprise. But happily you said yes. And so here we are this evening. In the meantime, it was my great pleasure to have both of you participate in my class at Beth Yeshurun, and I got to know you both fairly well. And Marissa, you were truly an enthusiastic student in the class, and that is why, as many people now know, I asked you to speak at our congregation on the holiest day of the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur, and tell your story to our congregation. Needless to say, you impressed and amazed our members just as you obviously dazzled Edward. And so here we are on this auspicious day. Marissa and Edward, several of the traditional wedding blessings that I will chant in a few minutes, refer to the very first human couple, Adam and Eve. It is as though we imagine, and you imagine yourselves, that you are those first two human lovers in history. And from this mental picture, we can learn a very important lesson, a truth about a good marriage that I always like to mention at a wedding. When God created Adam, the first human being, God created Adam in God's image. And it is our belief that each of us today carries within us a spark of the divine, something holy, something precious, something that makes each of us shine in our own special way. And this evening, all of us here can see how the two of you are shining with that special spark of holiness, and how much you see in each other's eyes the preciousness and specialness that you share with each other. And we know that every day in a marriage is not going to be like your wedding day, but the challenge is always to see that special spark in your partner's eyes, to always remember that you're both created in God's image, and to always find that sacredness in each other, even in times when you may have disagreements or disappointments. Starting today, your relationship is formalized according to the Jewish tradition. By committing yourselves to each other, you commit to carry on that journey you began 12 years ago, but now as true partners. And so this evening we pray for the two of you that, like Adam and Eve, you will forever share that spark of the divine in each other's eyes, and that you will share your special qualities and gifts with each other. And through the years, your relationship together will only continue to grow from strength to strength. We pray that your relationship will continue to be blessed with a strong foundation of honesty and trust, mutual respect, shared values and goals, and compatible personalities, and true friendship. For these are the elements that carry a marriage through good times and bad. And we also pray that at the same time your relationship may forever continue to be blessed with all of the joy and love and enchantment and excitement that a man and woman can share with each other. For this is the spark of freshness in a relationship that keeps the marriage alive and invigorated. And to all of this, may we say, Amen. Now, a Jewish wedding is separated into two parts. For each part, we have the two glasses of wine, one glass of wine for each part. The first part is called the Birkot Erusi, the wedding, the betrothal blessings. And I will chant them first, and then you can share the first glass of wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al harayot, v'asar lanu et ha'arusot, v'hitiv lanu et hanisuot manu, al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh amo Yisrael, al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, who created the fruit of the vine. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, whose mitzvot add holiness to our lives, and who guides us when our most intimate of our relationships. Praised are you, Adonai, who sanctifies the people of Israel with chuppah, the wedding canopy, and kiddushin, the sacred wedding traditions. As you have shared this wine, so may you now share all things from this day on with love and understanding. May life's joys be heightened, its bitterness sweetened, and each of its moments hallowed. Now we have rings. Okay, so Edward, I want you to look into Marissa's eyes and repeat after me. Hooray, Ak, Yekudesh Li, V'tabat Zo, Kedat Moshe, Yisrael. By this ring, you are consecrated to me as my wife, in accordance with the laws of Moses and the people of Israel. I'll put it on her right forehead. Now, first, you have a ring for Edward. Okay, so repeat after me. Now, look at his eyes. Ani Ludodi, Ludodi Li. I am my beloved. My beloved is mine. Put the ring on his finger. That is a verse from the Song of Songs. And now we're going to separate the two parts of the wedding ceremony by reading a selection from this ketubah. Earlier today, we had this ketubah. All right, I can read it just from where it is, I guess. So this very nice ketubah over here is a beautiful piece of art. In the Jewish tradition, as I described, a marriage is not just a relationship of enchantment and love, it's also responsibilities. And the responsibilities were traditionally written down in a wedding contract called a ketubah. And earlier today, we signed this ketubah. And so now I'm going to read a portion of it first in the original Aramaic and then in an English translation. V'echad Shabbat, the Shiv'asar Yom L'chodesh Tevet, Shvat Chamesh Talapim, Shvat La'od Shivim Sheva, L'Briyat Olam, L'Inyan Sha'ar Monin Kan Be'Isla Mujeres. Quintana Roo. Very good. You can read it from that far. That's pretty good. Quintana Roo, Mexico. Eta Hakatan Eliezer ben Moshe Miriam. Amar Lelachada Yorta Raya. Bat Abraham Sarah. Abai Lelizu. Kedat Moshe Israel. Ba'ana Elchak. Ahokir V'Izim. The Barnes. Kikilihi. Kitilkot. Ruben. Yehudim. The Palki. The Mokrim. The Zarnim. The Matarnasi. The Nashehon. The Kushta. Which roughly translates to, on this day of great celebration and joy, on the first day of the week, the 17th day of the month of Tevet in the year 5777, which corresponds to the 15th day of January in the year 2017, here in Isla Mujeres, Quintana Roo, Mexico, Edward Daniel Krasnov and Maria Marissa, Edward Daniel Krasnov, the son of Marat Krasnov and Mary Rifkin, and Marissa Diane Bazan, the daughter of Pablo John and Maria Dolores Bazan, spoke the words and performed the rites which united their lives in the presence of God's blessing and in accordance with the laws of Moses and Israel. Our lives together are nourished by the truth that genuine friendship is the source of vibrant and everlasting love. You promise to be honest and gentle. We promise to be honest and gentle, anticipating our milestones, celebrating our successes, honoring our uniqueness, and striving to paint the future with confident strokes of kindness. And then it was all signed and sealed by several witnesses, by yourselves and by myself, and we're now declaring it to be effective as of this moment. And so, Mazel Tov. And now we will continue with the second half of the wedding ceremony. The dear folk need to read the wedding blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shekol bara lekodeho. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer hadam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yakar dadam b'tomo b'tzon t'mukav b'toho. Lo mimenu binyana deyahad, Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer Hadam. Dos patis v'tagel akaraha, v'kibutz paneha l'tokaha v'zikaha, Baruch atah Adonai, L'sameach Zion b'vaneha. V'sameach tisamach re'im ha'uvim, v'sameach yitzircha b'gan eden l'kedem, Baruch atah Adonai, Misameach HaKahan, V'chahala. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher barakaton v'simcha, Chatan v'chala, Ila rina gita v'kedva, Ahava v'yachava v'shalom v'reyut. Mehera Adonai Eloheinu, Yishama b'Har Yehudah, U'bechusot Yerushalayim, Kol chaton v'kol simcha, Kol chatan v'kol kala, Kol nisavot chatanim v'chukataham, U'ne'areinu niseh b'ginataham, Baruch atah Adonai, L'sameach HaKahan, Im HaKala. You may now share your second glass of wine, and I'll read a little bit of the translation. Praised are you, Adonai, our God who rules the universe, creating the fruit of the vine. Praised are you, Adonai, our God who rules the universe, whose glory is evident in all of creation. Praised are you, Adonai, our God who rules the universe, creator of man and woman. Praised are you, Adonai, our God who rules the universe, who created the male and female in the divine image, and together they might perpetuate life. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of man and woman. May Zion rejoice as her children return to her in joy. Praised are you, Adonai, who causes Zion to rejoice in her children. Grant perfect joy to these loving companions, as you did for the first man and woman in the Garden of Eden. Praised are you, Adonai, who creates the joy of bride and groom. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, who created joy and gladness, bride and groom, pleasure, song, delight, laughter, love, and harmony, peace and companionship. Adonai, our God, may there always be heard in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem the voices of joy and gladness, of happiness, the voices of bride and groom, the jubilant voices of those joined in marriage under the chuppah, the voices of young people feasting and singing. Praised are you, Adonai, who causes the groom and the bride to rejoice together. There's one more blessing we offer, and that's the blessing of our ancestors in the time of Moses and Aaron, found in the book of Numbers. It's called the priestly blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May the Lord bless you and watch over you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yifunecha. May God's light shine upon you and be kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasen lecha shalom. May God always be mindful of you and grant you peace and happiness for your lives together. Amen. Now, since both of you have acted out of love and affection and in accordance with the rites and ceremonies instituted by our Holy Torah, you, Edward Krasnov, and you, Marissa Bazan, are now husband and wife. And you may share your first kiss as husband and wife. Okay, so there's only one more thing to do. Okay. Put on shoes. That's a good thing. Okay, so everybody knows about this part because it's in all the TV shows that have Jewish weddings. This is the smashing of the glass. So the traditional reason for smashing the glass is that even in our moments of greatest joy, we realize that the world is somehow imperfect and a little bit broken. We have a second meaning for you today, and that is that however many pieces this glass smashes into, we pray that your joy and happiness will multiply and increase. Okay, you ready? Okay. There you go. But anyway, when he says it, we're going to say Mazel Tov, okay?
Okay.
All right. Mazel Tov! Woo!